What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, and old hate. I want to talk about Teofimo Lopez, versus Kambosos. Fight is postponed for the second time. And basically I heard that it's rumored that Teofimo Lopez had a problem making weight. And you never know what's actually true versus people just guessing things and make, assuming what the problem is. And then I also heard it was postponed because of COVID. Yet we have fights going on. Certain states, certain places, it's higher than others, and everything is not officially open yet. We get that. But check this out, y'all. I actually heard that Teofimo Lopez wasn't looking good in training for this fight. That in sparring, he wasn't looking good. Now, again, it's not like I'm there to know for a fact that this is true, but I'm just saying what we've been hearing, right? That he wasn't really looking good in sparring. And then I'm hearing that the ticket prices for the fight was really, really high. I think they went from like 200, 250 to like 2,500 or something like that. And then the prices dropped down to like from $40 to like $400 or something like that. And that even when the price dropped for the tickets, that the fight is not selling. Pay-per-view wise, on Triller, or physically being in the arena. Now you gotta factor in that regardless to the turnout, everybody who's coming to that fight that's taking part, from the entertainers to the other fighters, like, people got to be paid for coming to do what they have to do. Well, I'm thinking, like, remember back when Teofimo Lopez was going back and forth, talking about how he's the A side, not Tank Davis. He was bragging, acting all arrogant and cocky about how much his fights sell. And I'm being perfectly honest with you. Outside of people that really watch boxing, there's a lot of casuals who do not know who Teofimo Lopez is. There's a lot of people, period, that just don't know who Teofimo Lopez is. Teofimo Lopez, I always thought he was a solid fighter. In fact, I gave him the win. I went with him to beat Lomachenko. And he did that. But at the same time, you've never heard, and I'm bringing up Tank Davis because, see, let me just bring this up. Teofimo's gotten so cocky and arrogant, and he's acting like a completely different person ever since he's gotten that title. Like really just brash, and he's always calling people name out. Now, I said before, he called out in the past video, he calls out Josh Taylor, but it's always, he calls one person out and says, this is who I want. Guaranteed next fight. Following week, he wants somebody else. And there's no negotiations or nothing. Nothing was turned down. It just doesn't happen. Following week, he wants someone else. So he then went from saying he wanted Devin Haney to Tank Davis to Ryan Garcia to Josh Taylor. I forget the guy. Was it Granado? Somebody that Tank Davis just beat the shit out of. He's talking about he want to fight him now. And he's making a big deal out of it. And it's like, bro, what is going on, man? See, this is why I'm not big on words. And like I always allude to when I'm talking about Teofimo and his choice of opponents, like when he's talking this crap about how this generation is going to be different and all, it's what I'm saying. What is he doing different? What is he doing different? We all know if he want that fight, Devin Haney is not going to turn that down. And, with all this, I'm the A side. This is what I'll say. You're unified champion, but you're still not the most popular. You're still not putting asses in seats. And I've had somebody trying to tell me how many pay-per-views he sold and how much. First of all, if you're talking about him versus Lomachenko's not a huge star. He's not a huge star, but he's very respected. But at the same time, look at the dance partner he had. So the two of them, yeah, it should have been, more than what they usually would, the numbers that he would usually do. I've never in my life, I'm being honest with you, okay? I've never in my life, and where I work, it's probably like 95, 96% Latinos. I've never heard any of them say, yo, I gotta go watch this Teofimo Lopez fight this weekend. I've heard them talk about certain UFC fighters. I've yet to have a conversation with anybody there that and Teofimo Lopez's name comes up. Never, not once. So, and I've been here for a while, so it's like, when have we ever heard of Tank Davis? You know, I'm not talking about missing weight or something like that. Like for somebody, if the fight was postponed because he couldn't miss weight, because he couldn't make weight, then either you need to train harder, and if you're draining yourself and it's too much, then you need to go up in weight. And yeah, you're going to have to sacrifice being undisputed and go to another weight class. Because if that's the case, if that would be the case, then you're going to constantly, you know, be fined and be stripped of your title. You're going to end up getting stripped. You see what happened to Benavidez. So at the end of the day, I'm saying all that to make this point. It just goes to show you, and I've been saying this for the longest, okay? I don't care about that love and hate shit because I'm just here to talk about boxing, but it goes to show you who the biggest star is at 135. Tank Davis is one of the biggest stars in boxing, period. Outside of AJ and Canelo. Who gets more eyes and more attention than Tank Davis? And I'm not talking about somebody who fight in their home country and he gets televised here, or somebody fighting their home state. I'm talking like who gets more attention to them than Tank Davis outside of Canelo and AJ. Tank Davis definitely, for name one person at 135 that gets more eyes than Tank Davis. I'm not talking, don't name who you like better. I don't give a shit about that. I'm not talking about who you like better. I'm saying who gets more attention at 135 than Tank Davis. So when you look at fighters and they're talking about I'm the A side, let me tell you, it's not, they factor more things in than just you having a title. Example, there's probably most people think Terrence Crawford is a better boxer than Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence got skills and he just don't always use them, okay? And Terrence Crawford is more consistent with using his full arsenal than just relying on, you know, grit and getting in there and just banging. But that's one of the things I like about Errol Spence. But the same things I like about Errol Spence in certain ways are the things I don't like about what he does. But the intrigue is putting those two styles together, right? But Terrence Crawford, okay? Errol Spence is no superstar, but by far, he's by far more popular than Terrence Crawford. So, if Terrence Crawford had the same popularity or more than Errol Spence, the pressure would be on Errol Spence. Why? Because people would be saying, yo, you definitely ducking this guy, but everybody knows it. And on top of that, he's the bigger draw than you are. You understand what I'm saying? And it would be a lot of shade thrown at Errol Spence for that. They throw shade at him now. But Errol Spence, when this guy was out for a year, what was all these guys doing? Fighting guys that they shouldn't even been in the ring with. So, when you look at popularity, that's part of it. That is a part of it. If you can put asses in seats, even if your opponent has more titles than you. Look, when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Hagler, who was the champion? Marvin Hagler. But what was the intrigue overall? Yo, Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard by far was the A side. He was the fucking draw. He's the reason that people, Ray Leonard could have came back and fought anybody. People would have been, they would have been coming to see Ray. But he's fighting Marv. And Ray Leonard, okay, Ray Leonard went into this fight. You see the ovation Ray Leonard got when he came? And I remember going to the barbershops as a kid. No, that's all everybody was talking about. And the majority of everybody who was talking wanted Ray Leonard to win. Ray was the A side against Marvin Hagler. Please believe that. Okay? You take, again, like Crawford and Spence. Yeah, you got one guy who people are saying, yo, Crawford is the better boxer. That doesn't mean he wins. He just might win if they ever damn fight. He just might win, but it doesn't guarantee that he wins because he's considered the better boxer, you know. But at the same time, Errol Spence gets more attention, and he's belt collecting. Teofimo Lopez has done absolutely nothing since he's won that title. Devin Haney's fought twice since then. Teofimo's doing nothing but talking. And the thing about Teofimo is, like, you see how cocky he's gotten. He talks so much shit, and it's like, yo, where's all this arrogance all of a sudden? But he's always calling somebody's name. He says he wants Devin Haney's head, but then all of a sudden, it's Granados or somebody, I can't remember who. One of these guys, I know whoever he's talking about, Tank already beat the shit out of this guy. You fighting Tank leftovers. And he's making the excuse that, because Tank went up. No, when Tank was at 135, who was trying to make this fight happen? I believe this. Teofimo Lopez is a talented fighter that is not nearly as big as a draw as he thinks he is. And in all honesty, for him to try to overprice himself because he's holding the majority of the straps, but yet you can't sell out an arena. You're not getting people to tune in on pay-per-view. Then what does that tell you? So, in all honesty, he needs Tank far more than Tank needs him. But I would honestly like to see all these guys getting in and mix it up. But with all the other options that's out there, Teofimo Lopez is going to need a better dance partner than Kambosos. And the pay-per-view sales and the ticket sales shows that. He does not have Tank Davis type popularity. All this shit, Tank Davis can't sell. What are you guys talking about, man? You guys are talking about who you like. You're talking with your emotion. A lot of people are just talking to support their countrymen, but you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. If you break the numbers down, and let's be honest, this fight was postponed twice. Twice. Okay, check this out, Devin. Yo, the fight's postponed. And there's no reason for me and you not to get it on. You know, simple. Simple. Ryan Garcia's out of commission. You got guys like Shakur Stevens. I mean, there's fighters that, there's guys that can make certain weight classes and they can get these fights on, but, it's just not happening. Let me sum this up. Bottom line is this. Like I said already, I think he's a talented fighter. Teofimo, he's not as popular as he thinks he is. And he just doesn't have that kind of type of drawing power. For him to draw, it's not just so much him, it's who he's fighting. It's most fighters, but you got certain fighters like AJ and Canelo, doesn't matter who they're fighting. People are going to come see them fight. Okay, Tank Davis is a guy that, people come out. And not only that, look at the reaction. The crowd is into his fights. When you have a bad night, any fighter can have an off night. But I mean, overall, let's just be real. Tank Davis is that guy at 135. And if he beats Barrios and he stays at 140, well, I mean, I don't see any of these other guys looking like they want to go to 140. Now, Teofimo Lopez said it that, he think his more natural weight is 140, that he'd be better at 140. Well, if Tank stays at 140, you have no reason to not go up there and fight Tank then. And I believe, in all honesty, for Teofimo Lopez, stock to go, for all of them, they need to fight each other. Right now, having Tank, having Teofimo, having Devin Haney, having Ryan Garcia there, and to have them all there and not fight right now, that would honestly be like Ray Leonard, Duran, Hearns, and the thing with Hagler's a middleweight. Hagler, he never fought at 147, as a pro. So, but even though he was at 160, the point is, that would be like, you can throw Wilfredo Benitez in it, okay? He didn't fight all of them, Benitez, but, he did fight Leonard and he did fight Durant. But I'm just saying, that would be like, those four not fighting each other would be like, if that never happened. So for you guys to be here right now, and then for whatever reason or excuses that these fights are not happening, it is what it is. But it's not looking too good right now, for Teofimo in terms of his decision making and what he's capable of, bringing to the table as far as an event goes. And I guess the whole event overall was, I guess it's just not looking good for the event overall, because the tickets are not selling, and neither is the pay-per-view numbers being up. So overall, the whole card is a fail. So what's next, we don't know. These guys need to learn. You need to get in there and fight the best fighters. And people tune in to see this, they're going to want to watch you fight. But you keep getting there talking about how great you are, and you're this, and you're the A-side, you're this and that, and you can't sell tickets, you can't draw. Man, that's a pipe dream. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.